What video am I talking about? If you go to twitch.tv slash or twitter.com/twitch, there's a video up there that they made for Shroud because Shroud moved to Mixer last week. Shroud has far less viewers on Mixer now. Oh yeah, oh yeah. I mean, anyone who knows the Mixer knows they're gonna get less viewers. That's not why they move. If here's the important thing to think about, and I honestly think everyone's kind of upfront about this. If streamers truly felt they do better on Mixer, Microsoft wouldn't have to be paying them huge amounts of money to move to it. Nobody goes to Mixer knowing they're going to get a bigger channel, more viewers. That's not why they move. And I think everyone's kind of understands that. So, yeah. Yeah. I mean, I can tell you that...
Captain.
Oh, here we go. Anyway, we'll talk about this later.
You have an uncanny talent for complicating my life. You've been working with Dr. Wells from the beginning. When we moved to arrest him, he was prepared. I lost good soldiers in the attempt.
Whoops.
You've disrupted the balance of power. You've upset the natural order of things. You've introduced uncertainty, and there is nothing I despise more than uncertainty.
Oh, there he is. By the way, guys, for everyone asking me hypotheticals on if I move to Mixer, let me make this super, super clear. I have no plans for that. I'm not even thinking about those questions because I'm very happy where I am. So don't even bother sending those questions at me. I'm not thinking about it. I have no answer for them. We're liberating Halcyon, and there's not a damn thing you can do to stop us.
Do you imagine you're leading some grand revolutionary army? The Iconoclasts and MSI have put aside their differences and attacked the prison together. I never imagined such a thing would be possible. But here we are. You're nothing but a rabble-rouser. I'm going to put an end to your little rebellion.
Waffles,
and then I'm
Nuriel.
going to have you and your associates arrested.
I'm here for Phineas. Let him go.
You make a nuanced and compelling argument. Here's my rebuttal. No.
I'm going to kill you.
Dr. Wells is being held in my custody. His cooperation will prove invaluable, even if I have to beat it out of him. All that's left to do is put down this riot, arrest you, and then get on with the bloody business of saving this colony.
Let's talk about this.
Fair enough. I'm giving you exactly one chance to parlay with me.
Oh, I better make the persuade good. Oh. Wow. Intimidate 90, heavy weapon 60, two-handed melee 60. You don't want to die on Tartarus. I'm giving you a chance to walk away.
Interesting that you think I'm going to die here. I believe I'm more than capable
This
of
voice
taking
actor's
you
so good.
on.
Don't be stupid, Sophia. Don't make this harder than it needs to be. Oh, you have absolutely no chance against me, but I love your positive attitude.
So full of confidence as always.
I like your positivity.
If you're trying to make me nervous, it won't work. I've devoted my entire life to protecting Halcyon. I'm not afraid to die in the line of duty.
The board is not worth dying for.
There isn't much of a board left, thanks to you. You've thrown this system into disarray. Cleaning up your mess will be the work of a lifetime. You were always an unknown variable. I tried to recruit you, but you threw your lot in with that madman, Phineas Wells.
Dr. Wells and I are both scientists. We believe Halcyon can still be saved.
I'm aware of Dr. Wells' plan. Revive some brilliant scientists and engineers from the Hope and work with them to save the colony. He's already revived you, after all.
Yep.
50 or 60 years ago, I might have agreed with you. But we've passed the point of no return.
No, we haven't.
The best scientists in Halcyon can't save us now.
Deborah Wilson is her VA? Oh, I completely see it. It's going to take a miracle to save Halcyon, but we can do it if we work together.
I appreciate your confidence, Captain. But so long as you're allied with Dr. Wells, we can never work together. I haven't given up on the program yet. You've caused some complications, but I can improvise. I can fix this. I haven't lost control of the labyrinth yet. Our security system is still operational. I can still
I don't like that
put a
chair he's
stop
sitting
to
in. That
you.
looks like a death chair. I've left a lot of corpses behind me, Sophia. Are you sure you want to be next?
When you put it that way, no. Not in the least. Damn it all. Very well. You win. I'm familiar enough with your methods to realize my chances of survival are low. Congratulations, Captain. You've outplayed me. I accept your terms and will
Dude, we had to
return
use
Dr.
100
Wells to
persuade
your care.
and 100 intimidate. Thank you. I'm glad we could settle this without violence.
I just hope you've made the right decision. The fate of the colony is in your hands now. I bid you farewell.
Oh, is it a 90? Yeah, nice.
Captain.
No, there was a 90 persuade, 90 science, I think. Did we? I thought we did 100 persuade, 90 science, then 100 intimidate. I think. Maybe. Cool area. Oh. Oh god, I thought my graphics were messing up. It's just lightning. Okay.
You don't know how glad I am to see you. You must have said something to get under Akande's skin. She's gone, and I don't think she's coming back. And you lunatic, you broke into the board's own fortress just to rescue one doddering old man. You are absolutely out of your mind.
I love it.
I can't begin to thank you enough.
I could have fought a giant, unique robot boss? Well, it looks like our next playthrough is going to be interesting. Ooh. Are you all right? What did they do to you?
I'm all right, thanks to you. Akande wanted my cooperation. I'm quite sure she would have beaten it out of me if you hadn't arrived. You've broken the board's stranglehold on this colony, and you saved my life. But there's still so much we have yet to accomplish. You and I are going to have to work harder than ever to save Halcyon. I'm afraid the situation is far worse than any of us ever anticipated.
Great. I was just about to pop open some drinks and celebrate.
I would like nothing more than to celebrate this victory, but we have a serious problem on our hands. Earth has gone dark. We haven't received a single message in 3 years. There's been no communication, no signals, nothing.
What?
2 years ago, the Earth's Directorate's frigate disappeared on their way back to Earth. We don't know what they discovered when they arrived, or if they arrived at all.
You mean we're all alone out here? Really alone?
I'm afraid so, Miss Holcomb. Halcyon is the only home we have left. Returning to Earth is no longer an option. We're in serious trouble, my friend. Do you know what this means for Halcyon? We can't rely on Earth for support anymore.
Oh,
We've been cut loose. We're entirely on our own.
We have a lot of work ahead of us. We best get started. Wait, hold on. I want to ask you something.
Yes, certainly. I'll help however I can.
What do you think happened?
I don't know what happened, but something must have gone horribly wrong. I don't know why Earth's gone silent. I don't even know if Earth exists anymore. We have no connection back to Earth, and return is likely impossible. We're completely alone out here.
You mentioned a frigate disappearing. We got some information about this in some of the last sublight missions.
You might have heard of the Earth Directorate's frigate. Half the colony's entire military was on that ship. They were returning to Earth when they vanished without a trace. That was 2 years ago. We haven't heard a word from them since. Whatever happened to Earth likely happened to them.
There's something else. I know about the other colonist, Phineas.
I wasn't trying to hide the truth from you, But after all you've done, I owe you an explanation. Yes, I experimented on the Hope's colonists. Each of my experiments ended in catastrophic failure. Each of my subjects died in agony. You are my first and only success. I didn't tell you about the others because I didn't want to burden you. My failures are my own to bear, not yours.
I forgive you, Phineas.
Thank you. Perhaps in time I'll learn to forgive myself. My apologies. I need to get a hold of myself. We've far more pressing issues to worry about right now. If you have any more questions, ask me.
Okay.
I'll answer as best I can.
I gotta admit, I didn't think about that immediately. That would be amazing. That would be so amazing. If, like, Outer Worlds was happening here, while Fallout was happening on Earth. That would be so cool. So, like some kind of parallel universe situation. And that's why they can't communicate with them, because everything has been destroyed. Like, that would be so freaking badass. And then all of a sudden it's like it's like Outer Worlds 2, a return to the wasteland. Okay, anyway, we got work to do.
Yes, we do. You've done a marvelous thing. You've succeeded where anyone
The time
else
frames
would
don't
have
match
failed,
up. Yeah,
including me.
this takes place way later.
We must begin the revival process immediately.
Still would be
starting
fine.
with the Hope's brightest minds, and then we're going to fix this damn colony, one problem at a time. We're going to need a leader, and I can't imagine a better person for the job than you. What do you say, old friend? Will you help us?
Hell yeah, I'll help you. I've got plans. With the chairman in my pocket, no one's going to know I'm running the colony. I'm going to run this colony myself. I've already convinced the chairman to take my side. There we go.
The chairman? I don't know why you let that heartless creature live.
Because we're going
But
to
I'll
use him.
have to trust your judgment. You're the best thing to ever happen to Halcyon. If you want to take it upon yourself to lead this colony, you have my support. We're not a colony any longer, are we? Our last connection to Earth has been severed, and so we have been set free. Our future is uncertain, and no one knows what tomorrow holds. Exciting?
Now, one thing I'm really interested in is how are they going to do the ending? Is the ending going to be like...
The OSI teaches that everything in the
Let's
universe
watch.
happens according to the grand plan. But the stranger that arrived in Halcyon was an unplanned variable. From the moment he landed in Emerald Vale, his actions altered the course of history.
Tapestry ending?
The events of Darkness brought about the end of the board's authority. But the board's mistakes would haunt the colony for decades to come. The damage they left behind would require the work of a generation to repair. Dr. Phineas Wells began reviving a handful of the Hope's colonists. Engineers, scientists, technicians, and intellectuals. They were among the brightest minds the Earth had ever sent out into the stars. The Hope scientists and engineers woke up in a colony descending headlong into total collapse. With no way to return to Earth, they had no choice but to band together and devote themselves to the cause of saving Halcyon. The people of Halcyon were nothing if not hardy. In the absence of the board's authority, many of the colony's settlements banded together with a single purpose in mind: survival. Life was especially hard in the years to come. Some towns dissolved by attrition and starvation, but most of them found a way to carry on. In the years to come, Halcyon was forced to reckon with its newfound freedom. The board was gone, and for better or worse, the colony was responsible for its own destiny. Between MSI's worker-centric policies and the iconoclast's manpower, Sanjar and Zora were able to rally many of the Terra 2 townships to their cause. MSI's workforce swelled, and the iconoclasts enjoyed a significant surge in their ranks. The board was too distracted by infighting and internal politics to stop MSI from becoming a powerful corporation and a refuge for townships that might have fallen through the cracks. Consumed by paranoia, Lilia Hagen took Sublight Salvage in a controversial direction, openly accusing board officials of an extraterrestrial conspiracy. One day, an accident at the Groundbreaker's docking bay silenced her forever.
The aliens got her.
Time would tell if her replacement could keep the Sublight family together. Adelaide McDevitt replaced Reed Thompson as the leader of Edgewater. She and her followers transformed Edgewater in their image. Anyone loyal to Reed was pressured into leaving town, and those who stayed behind adapted to her way of life. Adelaide transformed the old cannery into a new garden. The nearby Edgewater Cemetery provided...
I really wonder
source
if because
of
Adelaide
fertilizer.
was using corpses as fertilizer,
As for
if
Reed
that
Thompson,
food was good.
It was said that he lasted exactly 2 days outside the walls of Edgewater. Years later, a marauder was found in possession of his hat. Under the leadership of Junlei Tennyson, the Groundbreaker held firm against corporate influence. The ship's mechanical stability gave Junlei the time to educate a promising generation of engineers schooled in her family's traditions. The future of the Groundbreaker looks promising. The rediscovery of the Hope and the abandonment of the lifetime employment program forced Byzantium to come to terms with some uncomfortable realities about the state of
Oh, they're
Halcyon.
rioting.
While Byzantines were reluctant to surrender the luxuries they'd grown accustomed to, the board's diminished authority gave them little choice in the matter. Nearly everyone had to learn to make do with less. Some even had to get jobs. It was a dark time indeed. Your influence shifted Ellie's perspective. She finally admitted, albeit grudgingly, that she just might need other people. Sometimes. With a steady income from the life insurance payouts, she was finally able to afford a ship of her own. She hired a small crew and flew supply missions to
Oh,
communities
see, they're
on the
giving
fringe. Some of them
future
were even
history.
legal. Life in Halcyon was sobering for Felix Millstone. The grand revolution he
Talk about that in a
dreamed
bit.
of never came. There was no great awakening for the colony.
Yes, there
No
was.
celebrations in the streets.
We broke the
There was
board.
only the hard, desperate work of trying to repair a broken colony. Felix never had a head for numbers, but if there was labor to be done, he was there to help. Eventually, Felix realized that the work of a revolution was done with 2 hands. As much as he enjoyed his adventures aboard the Unreliable, the vicar, known as Max, eventually decided that it was time to move on, to live out the life he had sought so long to create.
Good ending.
He knew there were many in the colony who carried burdens much worse than the ones he had struggled with, and he devoted himself to easing their suffering wherever he could. He only ever took up arms again to defend the defenseless.
More future history.
Unshackled from a lifetime of striving and fighting the universe and himself, Vicar Maximilian de Soto was finally at peace. Once the matter with the Hope colonists was resolved, Junlei bashfully asked Parvati if she'd like to join her permanently on the Groundbreaker, and Parvati enthusiastically, if somewhat awkwardly, agreed. The stories of her adventures spread across the colony, and Parvati soon found herself the center of attention. Having served as the engineer of a renowned spacecraft, tramp freighters and wildcat miners sought her out by name, and in no time, she was a fixture in the Groundbreaker's mechanical ecosystem. She and Junlei were never far apart.
That's awesome.
Nyoka returned to Monarch to take another crack at making a permanent life for herself. She formed the Charon Group, a mercenary outfit of ragtag survivalists and wilderness experts. Anyone in need of a guide
Cool.
or just looking to throw back a beer and swap stories could find her camping on the trail or clearing an infestation. The SAM unit that accompanied you spread awareness of the product line's superior sanitation and maintenance capabilities across
Sam
multiple
has an
parts of the
ending?
colony. This led to a boost in SAM unit sales. Did you know that SAM units are the longest-lasting, toughest-acting cleaning solution in Halcyon? Minister Clark was released from house arrest and his contact with you gave him a sense of renewed purpose and vigor.
Whoa!
Once it became clear that no help would be coming from Earth, he threw his considerable efforts and talents into helping Halcyon manage the crisis
Unexpected!
It was widely suspected that Sophia Akande was the true power behind Chairman Rockwell.
Oh.
However, after the riots on Tartarus, she was never again seen in the colony. Various theories circulated as to her fate. Some believed she boarded an interstellar ship capable of journeying to a distant colony. Others believed she died trying to escape Tartarus. Some few suggest she fled to Monarch, where she continued to live among a small band of loyalists. There is another theory, which suggests that Sophia's encounter with you changed her, and she deliberately retreated from public view, but continued supporting the colony in secret. When Dr. Wells began reviving the Hope's colonists, he found himself with a sudden windfall of additional supplies and resources, courtesy of an anonymous donor. If Wells knew who his supplier was, he never told a soul.
Wow.
As for Dr. Phineas Wells, he spent his remaining years in his orbital lab. He eventually came to terms with his own past and was able to forgive the mistakes of his younger self by devoting his remaining years to serving the colony. Dr. Wells was able to revive many more scientists and engineers than he first expected, thanks to the additional batch of chemicals you stole from the Ministry. Wells never forgot about the human lives that were lost in acquiring these chemicals. In the end, Dr. Wells
that was the
able
good
to save
decision.
every scientist and engineer aboard the Hope. Over the next decade, nearly all of the Hope's remaining colonists were successfully revived. Halcyon saw a period of rapid technological and scientific advancement. Breakthroughs in dietary supplements saved the colony from starvation. Geoengineering projects and social reforms began to change the structure and character of the colony. Dr. Wells laid the groundwork for the project to save the colony, but he would never live to see the fruits of his labor.
He was an old dude.
He passed away a few years later. His work was carried on by the scientists and engineers he revived. Today, Halcyon has stabilized. The people of the colony work hard to adapt to their new circumstances. Nearby colonies send aid and supplies. Life will never be easy in Halcyon, but for the first time in its history, there exists a sense of real, genuine hope about the future. And what about you, the unplanned variable in the history of Halcyon? You brought an end to the riot on Tartarus and partnered with Chairman Rockwell to run the colony together. As Halcyon looked toward the future, you remained a constant presence in the colony's administration. You were never weighed down by bureaucracy, and you never had to dirty your hands with politics. You had people who did that for you. By your influence, Halcyon survived the turbulent years that were to follow. No one knows what's happened to Earth, and no one knows what the future has in store for Halcyon. All we know for certain is this: the name of the Unreliable and that of its intrepid captain will remain the subject of countless stories for years to come.
I'm so sad that's done. Oh, man. So good. I have so many emotions right now. I have so many emotions. You know what? We're gonna let all the credits run. Yep. This game deserves it. We're gonna let all the credits run. Time for the next playthrough. I'm probably gonna start my next playthrough pretty soon. Yeah. I'm gonna be starting a new playthrough pretty soon. We're gonna be doing Long Dark in the mornings. But I think we may start the melee playthrough in the afternoon. Yeah, after lunch. Yeah. Did I enjoy it? Dude, I loved it. That's the best game I've played in a long time. It was, dude. I know, I'm sitting here like a big baby. Like, I literally have, like, I'm not crying, but my eyes are, you know, moister than normal. Just like so many like amazing things like culminated. It was great. It was so good. And I loved the tapestry ending. That was so good. Like that was the exact style of ending I was hoping for. A long, like well-written final chapter to the whole thing. It covered so many characters. It covered all the people that were there. Like that was just, it was beautiful, man. It was beautiful. There's Mikey. Mikey Dowling. That guy's a bro. By the way, Mikey Dowling is in the hospital. He had an unfortunate injury. So if you follow Mikey on Twitter, make sure to send him some good vibes. He's a great dude. Very great dude. Oh, look at all this. Oh, I wish we could like slow this down. I want to read these. Everyone got their own message. That's so cool. I like how this guy's like, do I just put my name? I'm just going to put my name. And then later he's like, wait, we were supposed to put a message? What? Oh, son of a... It's just going to say my name in the end credits. Oh, my God. Why didn't you tell me, Jim? Jesus. Oh, in memorandum. I don't know who Teddy... Mochi, the bestest rat, and Teddy. Good vibes. Damn it, Jim. I'm a programmer, not a doctor. Oh, look at all these voice credits. Hell yeah, dude. Oh, man. Game on. These guys nailed the voices in this game. Dude, all the voice acting in this game was completely top-notch. I don't think there was a single character where I was like, oh, that doesn't fit. And what's even wilder is how many voices matched the faces. Like, I don't know if they recorded the voices and then sculpted the face for the voice, but the matching was incredible. Like, it's so often that we play games and we hear voice acting, we're just like, oh, that doesn't match. Like, oh, that voice doesn't go with that face. I didn't get any of that in this game. Man, the music was phenomenal. I love the music as well. Listen to this. So good. So good. Was it mocapped? No. I don't believe any. Well, maybe some of the game was mocapped, but I don't believe any of the facial stuff was mocapped. I think that was all just straight up animation. Yeah. Hi, Leif. How are you? Yeah, Shock ASU. There may have been a few here and there, but man. So good. So good. I still haven't left the first area of Outer Worlds to skaters. Dude, that's awesome. You're in for a ride, man. You are in for a ride. Hold on, there's one of those sneaky VIPs in there. Let me take care of that. Green Axis says, I assume you recommend this game. We'll do a thoughts video here in a minute. So what big games are coming up on the channel? We've got Death Stranding at the beginning of next month. Directly following our thoughts video for this game, we're going to be going into The Long Dark Episode 3, which I am extremely excited about. We've also got some indie games we're going to be looking out in the near future. We've got some more scary games we're going to be playing. Yeah, we've got some fun stuff coming up. Also, in November, we're going to be replaying a game called playing for the first time ever for me on Twitch, a game called Arcana. There's that crescendo. Will I be streaming BlizzCon? Most likely not. No. Most likely not. Viking Death says, no mention of V3. We are in a dark time. Actually, V3 could definitely come back to the channel at some point. Yeah. What about VLR? VLR is coming soon too. Yep. I am extremely excited to start VLR, actually. When's the next Pantheon stream coming up? Not this Thursday, but next week's Thursday, we're doing an hour-long stream with the Pantheon devs to just kind of like catch up on where they are, let people know what's going on, that kind of thing. I don't think there's going to be much gameplay, if any, but it's only going to be an hour. But I think it's going to be just like a big update Also, quick heads up, the Pantheon devs are actually streaming on their channel now. So if you want to get most of the Pantheon updates, maybe a good idea to follow them on Twitch. After all this hype, was this game worth it? 101%. We'll talk about this in a minute. Am I going to play Death Stranding? Yes, I'm going to play Death Stranding. What about the DOS 2 second run? Arcanum comes first. Let me finish Arcanum, and then we'll start talking about other rainy day games. DOS 2, PoE 2, a lot of other games I want to replay. But I've owed you Arcanum for a long time. We are going to finish Arcanum first. Then we'll talk. I also owe you a Planescape Torment run. So after Arcanum, we can start talking about that as well. What about the new Star Wars game? Oh yeah, for sure. For sure. We'll definitely play the new Star Wars game. When does the new Star Wars game come out? November 15th, 16th? I don't remember the name. Or don't remember the date, excuse me. November 15th. Okay, so we'll have like a week to beat Death Stranding. Okay, we'll see how that goes. All right, I'm assuming there's no other stuff, but... Okay, great. Okay.